courtroom. This gives me a chance to introduce our next guest commentator. He's a familiar face here on Court TV, John Carroll, who is a partner in this New York law firm who specializes in criminal appeals, civil law, personal injuries, as well as we've said quite a number of things that we've called you in here for at Court TV. John, what do you think about this whole Zoloft defense here and the fact that I didn't do it? I was under the control of this disease, of this depression rather, and this drug at the time that I committed this heinous act.
I think it's a difficult defense because this individual had certain problems before. You have to remember, is before he went into the hospital and they prescribed Zoloft, he went in because he threatened to kill his parents. So to now say that the drug made you into a violent person, that's not consistent with what we know about the individual. And that kind of reaction with this drug, it's an antidepressant. Normally it's supposed to numb you and calm you down, not do the opposite. So it's an inconsistent side effect, although it's not, it's pretty rare, but it's not unheard of that something like this can happen to an individual on a drug like that.
I think it's 0.4% that have this kind of adverse reaction to it. He also, in his confession that was given in front of that jury today, he's given a lot of things in there that can be used by either side, but there is a portion in there where he may have had 4 cans of beer to drink. Now, if that turns out to be so, what does that do to this involuntary intoxication defense?
Well, if you voluntarily get yourself drunk, intoxication can be by drug, can be by alcohol. If you voluntarily get yourself drunk, you have no defense. So if he used alcohol and alcohol triggered an effect with the medication in his body, there's a very good argument that it's no longer involuntarily because you should have known that you never take alcohol with this type of drug. So that could negate that and, in a jury's mind, just wipe out the ability to say this is involuntary action based upon the drug alone.
What you do have, and I suppose hospital records, that there was a change in his personality from, I would say, a reticent individual to one who was more an extrovert, if you will, inappropriate statements, laughter, and so forth. And even in his confession, he makes a statement that, I don't know, this was just not like me, but maybe it was the medication that caused me to do what I did.
That's actually very good for the defense, because before he had an opportunity to speak to an attorney, here in his own words, when he's admitting to the crime, he's saying, I wasn't right, there was something wrong, before he really had a chance to dwell and develop any type of alibi. And if you're going to pick an alibi, that's not what you would normally pick, a drug involuntary intoxication, because he had no way to know about that. So I think that works well for them. And the hospital notations, there still is an issue as to whether or not at the time of this incident, whether he had taken his drug, whether he had stopped taking the drug. That's still an issue that we haven't heard a lot about yet, and that I think will come into play soon.
And there is